At the end of January, the library system began its Citizenship Inspired program, a series of classes made possible by grant funding to help legal immigrants successfully pass the required test to become a U.S. citizen. Today, and fittingly on President's Day, we are here to celebrate this new program, which allows the library system to play a part in the opportunity to welcome citizens, fellow citizens, to our country. I am very proud that the Orange County Library System can participate in the naturalization process. And again, it is quite fitting that we are celebrating Citizenship Inspired on President's Day. This is a special occasion for us. Our Citizenship Inspired classes have filled up quickly, evidence that we are serving an important need in the community. We have already celebrated our first two successes. Amalia Paredes took our classes at the Herndon branch, and Svetlana Drogas took classes at South Trail. Both have become full-fledged U.S. citizens. They are here today, and I want them to ask them to stand to be recognized. Let's now take a look at an inspiring story of one young man who dreamed that very dream and journeyed the path from immigrant to U.S. senator.
When Fidel Castro took over Cuba in 1959, Mel Martinez was 13 years old. As Castro tightened his hold on Cuba, the Catholic Welfare Bureau of Miami, the U.S. government, and Cuban exiles organized a program called Operation Pedro Pan. The program helped children of mostly middle-class parents flee the communist island and placed them with American families until their parents could leave to join them. Martinez's parents believed their son would have a better life in the U.S., and so in 1962, at 15, Mel Martinez came to the United States, alone. He wouldn't see his parents for another 4 years.
I can remember as a young child hoping that I would not have to leave Cuba, and that in fact the nightmare of this tyranny would be over for the Cuban people. And then later I remember hoping that I could be reunited with my parents back in Cuba and waiting for a moment when that could happen, but never to be.
During the separation, Martinez lived with 2 foster families in Orlando. He describes his early days in this country as lonely and confusing. In reality, he hadn't just left Cuba, he'd also left behind his childhood. In time, Martinez learned English and attended Bishop Moore High School. He worked after school and in the summers. By the time his family arrived here in 1965, he'd saved up enough money to buy them a car. He'd also lined up a job for his father at a local dairy farm. Some of the most successful businessmen in Florida today were also Pedro Pan refugees. They include Miami developer Armando Codina and Carlos and Jorge de Cespedes, owners of the PharMed Group, a major medical supply distributor. Orlando banker Cesar Calvé also immigrated to the United States through Pedro Pan at the same time as Mel Martinez. The two became friends when they were temporarily housed at Camp St. John's, just south of Jacksonville, during the summer of 1962. After high school, Martinez attended Florida State University in Tallahassee. There he met his wife Kitty and earned a law degree. The couple eventually returned to Orlando. Martinez became a successful trial lawyer, specializing in personal injury cases. He entered the political arena in 1998 when he was elected chairman of Orange County. 3 years later, President Bush named him his Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. In 2004, his meteoric rise would continue with his election to the U.S. Senate. Today, Martinez is the first Cuban-American and the only immigrant in the U.S. Senate. Martinez says politics has always been a way to give something back to the country that gave him so much.
Buenos dias and good morning. It is my honor to help kick off the Citizenship Inspired program presented by the Orange County Library System. The Citizenship Inspired program offers courses at selected library locations where participants will have the opportunity to review, test questions, and practice their interview skills in preparation for the citizenship test. As an immigrant to this country, I recognized early that I had to learn English in order to succeed in America. The library has a number of programs already in place for residents to improve language skills. The Citizenship Inspired program and other resources provided by the Orange County Library System are invaluable to those pursuing their American dream.
My father and mother were both immigrants from Cuba, naturalized citizens, and I learned many lessons from them that I want to share with you. These lessons form the basis of who I am and my philosophy about this nation and our roles. I learned from my parents, and certainly from Senator Martinez, that the greatest patriot in this nation is often the immigrant. The immigrant who knows firsthand suffering, the immigrant who knows sacrifice and tyranny, and who has had to pick up their lives from somewhere else, from another part of the world, and look to be welcomed here. I know firsthand the gratitude that comes from an immigrant who appreciates, often much more than those who have had the blessings of being born here, the greatness of our nation, the opportunity that our nation provides, and the basic premise that in America, anyone can become anything because they are free to do so. America has often been referred to as the great melting pot or the great salad bowl or some other food analogy that I like, where many countries come together to create our culture. That is a secret of our strength. It is our unique diversity that makes us great. It's the fact that our nation was formed on the basis of an idea of freedom, freedom from tyranny, freedom from oppression, freedom to live our lives the way we wish without interference from our government. As a great president once said, America has never been united by blood or birth or soil. We are bound by the ideals that move us beyond our backgrounds and lift us above our interests. Chief Justice Louis Brandeis, a great jurist, once wrote that the most important political office is that of a private citizen. America is a partnership. It is a nation where we all have roles to play. We all have duties and obligations to our nation, duties and obligations that we must pay in exchange for the freedoms that we are guaranteed. I'm thrilled you are here. I'm thrilled to be a part of this. I'm thrilled that you're doing what must be done in order to become a citizen and join us in this great idea that is America. I hope you'll learn our history. More importantly, I urge you to become actively involved in her future and be the source of the renewal of the promise that is America. Your children are counting on you to do this as I counted on my parents. Your grandchildren are counting on you to do this. And most importantly, we, the citizens of America, are counting on you to renew our great country once again. Congratulations.